Hey guys, I am Ibigandscary. I'm bringing you another StarCraft 2 replay, this time featuring in our top right-hand side from Clan Iron Warriors. We have Samsquamch. Samsquamch. I'm going to go with Sam's. It's such a long name, it's actually cut off at the top here. But he's a gold level player. And we are on one of the brand new maps out in the new ladder pool. We'll get to that in a couple seconds. But first I should introduce Thako, who is from Clan Brozo Lair. Brozone Layers, yes. Yes, indeed. Both players are in gold. We're on that new ladder map that I was talking about just seconds ago, and you should remember that. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Yeonsu? Yeonsu, it's another one of those Korean maps. It's named after a district in Korea, and it's weird. It's really, really weird. It's kind of cool, actually. I like it. You do have a very small little ramp leading down to a very normal-sized natural. You've got the destructible debris that leads you down to a possible third. You have another possibility for a third, which is a significantly longer distance away from your home by ground, if not by air, because this is your natural right here, or your main, rather. But yeah, you do have to kind of waddle a big distance to get up there, so maybe the queens don't like that too much. And then we have some destructible rock towers that can block that off, and then you do have a supplemental pathway, a secondary pathway that leads you through a lot of different bushes, but it definitely leads you around it, making that one a little bit more delicate, a little bit more exposed. I would say that this natural lends itself very heavily to this third. You just have to take down the destructible debris, but you do have options. You've got a lot of different options. They have the LE version, which means that this was initially some sort of platform, something that you'd have to fly to get to, and they added the destructible debris, making it so it's very accessible, and making it so that you have the option to expand along the whole bottom or along the whole top. Speaking of expanding, we've got a hatch first coming out from Sam, which is a great idea, especially whenever you're on a brand new map. Definitely time to be kind of frisky, to take the risks, and remember, this is super early in the season, so we have no idea where these players initially will eventually wind up. We don't know if they're diamond level players or platinum level players and they're just in gold because of bad luck, or if they're destined to be in gold for forever. We don't know. We have absolutely no idea, so I'm going to be critiquing the play skills, definitely critiquing what they're capable of doing. We have the spawning pool, a hatchery, as well as the extractor, all coming down for Thako relatively quickly. For the spawning pool, maybe making that Thako is going to be aggressive, but more likely he's just playing kind of defensive, being very careful, not very familiar with the map, I'm sure, like pretty much everybody else in the world. And so, you know, it's time for caution. Thako has his up, though, and he's not producing anything more than just a handful of Zerglings. Definitely for defense, getting that first queen out. We see that the hatchery, despite being hatch first, is only just now finishing, and the spawning pool, which was thrown down just a couple of seconds later, has finished up for Samsung. So Samsung. For Sam, his build order is just a little bit more proficient. He's got double queens coming out. He'll be able to time out the arrival of the larva inject, making it so it's just a little bit easier for him to deal with those macro mechanics. However, he'll have to deal with the 4 Zerglings that are out on the field right now. And Thako, again, he's not producing a massive amount of Zerglings, but he did get that early gas. He is starting to accumulate that gas now that his speed is he's got the 100 gas. He should start on that speed any second now, but he's not, and I don't understand that at all. But Sam's got the idea. Sam's build order is very tight right now. It's very tight indeed. He knows exactly what he's trying to do. He's getting those double queens out. He's getting the metabolic boost. He's getting some extra Zerglings. He's feeling kind of frisky. He's in fact positioning his queen perfectly in order to do a lot of damage to that Overlord. I don't think he's going to make it because I think the map just ends here, so that Overlord can't actually go far enough away from the queen before it gets cut down. So that's a pretty significant loss to Thako, just because you never want to lose an Overlord for absolutely no reason, and he knew that hatchery was there. He can expect that a queen's going to be there. We see a spine crawler going down for Thako. He's still got a handful of his Zerglings left, but we see that there were a lot of Zerglings on the production tab for Sam, and his speed is seconds away from finishing, so it looks like he's going to be kind of aggressive, going to be poking in here. Hopefully the queen, as well as the 2 spine crawlers, which are going to be constructed in a couple seconds, is going to be enough to hold him back. 10 more Zerglings and a Baneling nest on the production tab for Sam, so very aggressive, and unfortunately Thako got baited into losing a handful of Zerglings at the bottom of that ramp. However, with the spine crawler almost finished, it looks like Thako's not going to have an issue with holding these guys back. But remember, speed is done. If he can manage to swing up this ramp, he can get in there and start killing a lot of those delicate drones. But who am I kidding? He wants blood. He's pushing in. No, there goes the run by. Thako could have positioned his queen up on that ramp with the spine crawler there for pretty much a complete wall off. Instead, his queen gets surrounded in the home base and goes down at a significant loss just because of all the larva injects. He's going to have a lot of money that he can afford to spend. He's got almost 700 minerals that he really wants to spend, but he's not going to have the larva injects to allow him to actually spend that down. 12 more zerglings and a lot of banelings being produced just at the bottom of the ramp. Man, this is getting kind of tense, but remember, Thako has invested in that defensive infrastructure. He's got 2 of those spines up. I'd love to see him reposition those spines to form a pseudo wall right here, making it so those zerglings could not take the most direct path up that ramp, because that's totally what those zerglings want to do. They do not want to take an attack here, making it so that the spine crawler can just continually rain down hellfire on top of those. Oh, a nice baneling hit just on the rear of those drones, but only 1 hit happens, and unfortunately that doesn't kill too many of those drones. However, it looks like the zerglings from Sam has 1 out, and we've got a handful of drones going to town on so many of those zerglings. They get another surround on another queen, and it goes down. This is looking incredibly grim for Thako, but here comes the cavalry. 24 zerglings on the production tab for both players. Another queen pops out, instantly surrounded from Sam, and it goes down. Just, man, this is absolutely terrible that he keeps losing those queens, but he's stabilized. He's absolutely stabilized. 22 over 18 harvesters, despite losing the majority of his drones. He's still got the drone lead just because of how incredibly aggressive Sam has been. He's got no saturation here on his natural at all. He's still got a lot of zerglings back at home. He's still got a handful of banelings. He's probably suspecting, just from the positioning of his banelings, a counter-aggressive push from Thako. With Thako, no, he's fine. He's got a handful of zerglings up. He just needs to get his saturation back up to normal, and he can actually afford to play defensive just because of the economic advantage he still has, despite losing so many of those drones. And it looks like he might agree. He is pulling back with his zerglings. It looks like that Overlord is in a little bit of trouble, but now that he's got off creep, no, he's probably going to go down. Oh my goodness, it's so tense. It's so tense. It does go down. Roach Warren and another spine come down. I can't believe I keep forgetting what the name of those spines are. To double Roach Warren. It looks like a lair is also coming up. Thako has just 1 queen or 2. Yeah, he's got 2. So he's stabilized right back to where he needs to be. 24 over 21. Still a small bit of economic advantage. The main's still totally saturated, but we don't see any lair at all, and the natural is completely barren right now for Sam's. So Sam, despite doing a lot of damage in his initial push, just managed to equalize it. He didn't really manage to get too much of an advantage at all, so he needs to either expand and just drone up like there's no tomorrow, and it looks like he's agreed with me. He's got 8 of them right there. He's got more on the production tab, another 5 coming out. He started his own lair. It looks like he's cleaning the rocks out to make way for his 3rd. So what's Thako going to do? He's got a lot of zerglings out now. He's got roaches on the way. 3 of them on the production tab, and his lair's going to be finishing in a handful of seconds. It could be that he's going to be throwing down some roach speed. He is mining that gas, so that would be a very wise decision. Sam getting out the pneumatized carapace for some reason. I mean, he's got banelings. Maybe he's thinking about doing some bane rain, maybe some drop. Trying to think outside the box just because this is a brand new map, and it would be very easy to sneak some overlords around into this empty area. So yeah, I like that play. I do like that play. I think there might be something better for him to spend it on, but all things considered, there's worse things for him to spend it on too. So we've got that armor coming out for those roaches, making them just a little bit more resilient. However, Sam has not elected to build any of those roaches just yet. Switching over to the units tab, I see that there's 2. Okay, whatever. There's 2 roaches out in the field. It looks like they're getting kind of ballsy, actually poking down into the middle of the map, but a 3rd is on the horizon for Sam's. We still don't see any motions from Thako like he's thinking about taking that 3rd. Will he elect to take the one in the bottom right hand side or the top left? Regardless, good overlord positioning from Sam will tell him when that 3rd is elected to take. And we've noticed that Thako is actually suicided in pretty much every overlord he sent up there. He sent 2 of them to the natural. Both of them got killed by this queen with 2 kills, and because of that, he's really just got poor vision on the minimap. It's very difficult for him to actually see what his opponent is up to. We can see all of his overlords are kind of shied away and kind of positioned over the creep, but with good overlord placement and just aggressive overlord placement, you can really see exactly what these zerglings are doing, and it might allow Thako to cue in on the fact that the 3rd is being taken and that his economic advantage has begun to slip away. 53 over 43 harvesters as Sam prepares to take that third. He's already got a healthy plethora of drones to actually saturate that as soon as it goes up. Third finally being thrown down for Thako, but we don't see any drones being produced. In fact, we see that the Baneling count's beginning to rise. I think Thako is beginning to wise up that there has been no push, so he actually needs to get out there and actually do some damage. And these Banelings and Zerglings and Roaches are going to be a fantastic force to be reckoned with, man. Sam's going to be in for a world of hurt. +1 as well as Centrifugal Hooks is going to be finishing. So those Roaches are going to be very, very resilient, and the Zerglings from Sam is going to be very, very dead. We've got 5 more Roaches coming out. Thako throwing down a ridiculous number of Spore Crawlers. Has I missed a Spire somehow? Or is it just that he hasn't seen anything just yet from Sam to believe that maybe we're seeing a transition into those Mutalisks? Here comes the push. Those Banelings doing some massive damage on top of those Zerglings. In fact, all of Sam's Zerglings have completely gone down, and now Thako's got a really nice concave, actually using the hatchery against Sam, making it so that he has a really nice just attack pattern on top of those Roaches. Only 4 of those Roaches remain, and now the drones have been pulled, but no, Thako's just with his numerical superiority as well as the +1 armor timing attack, making it so that his Roaches can just last a little bit longer against Sam's, and he's totally coming out on top. However, with a huge stream of extra Roaches coming in, Sam is going to succeed in pushing Thako away from the natural into the third. However, again with the perfect concave, Thako really using his Roaches to the best of his abilities, and is really pressing the advantage that he's gotten by that +1 armor on top of Samsung, and Sam's really having a hard time dealing with it. Samsung, again, I did it again. This third is totally going to go down. The third has been secured for Thako. He hasn't started mining from it just yet, but the tables have totally turned. 48 over 39 harvesters. However, they're both mining from the same number of bases. They still have approximately the same number of income. Those Roaches have to be careful. They cannot get caught in this narrow choke. That's exactly what is happening right now, but Sam is not aggressing. He's not attacking with his entire force of Roaches, and in fact, he pulls back a little bit, allows Thako to break forward into this line. The Spine Crawler is not done. The Roaches are finally on the same amount of upgrade. They both have +1 armor. However, Sam just poor engagement after poor engagement has allowed Thako just to steamroll him, and he knows it. He taps out despite having a drone advantage, despite having that third base up a significantly longer amount of time than Thako. Thako comes in with a very nice timing attack and takes the game. Really impressive work, because he lost a lot in that attack. He lost a lot of drones, but then we saw that the economic advantage was simply stabilized. Both players pretty much on even footing, and so Thako covered all of his bases, getting out the Spore Crawlers just in case those Mutalisks were coming out, and then went for the timing attack. He went for that +1 armor, making it so his Roaches were incredibly resilient, and then just reinforced with Roaches once he expended pretty much all of his Zerglings on those Baneling busts just to get rid of those Zerglings that could have been a thorn in his side later on. Very nice play. Really, really cool. Also, Sam, you did a great job too, man. You did a really nice attack early on. Just didn't do as much damage as you needed to, but you did enough to justify it. It wasn't an all-in at that point. It was just a very aggressive attack, and you transitioned very, very well. I really like that opening, and you show a lot of proficiency with that. So that's clutch. That is clutch. You know who else is clutch is you guys, because you watch my videos. Thank you very much for that. If you have a replay for me, you could PM me here or on Reddit. One way or another, I will see you guys later. I am Big and Scary.